Hello you guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you guys about some books for the next couple of days. Read some books, do some book things, maybe go to a bookstore or a library, something along those lines. And I figured we would start with me telling you guys about this book, which is Exiles by Jane Harper. I only wanted to tell you guys about this book because I talked about it in the last couple of vlogs, and there's not really a vlog of me finishing this book. So I wanted to kind of like wrap up my thoughts on this book. So again, I just finished this not long ago, but I never really got to give you guys what I thought about it. It was interesting. I feel like I was very intrigued by the premise of this book, and the Goodreads ratings were very high. I think it got like 4.3 star average or something along those lines. Unfortunately, I did rate this one at 2 stars, but I want to tell you guys why. This book is basically about this woman who goes missing, and about a year later, they're kind of in that same environment. It's this wine festival that they go to annually, and now that they're back at the wine festival, like, it's just bringing up a lot of trauma for the family, and just like a lot of thoughts are coming back as to like where could this woman have gone, and like how is it that she just like disappeared, and so on and so forth. There was another subplot of another mystery that happened, which was interesting, but I think that the pacing just wasn't it for me in this book. So about 80% into the book, I felt like we were sort of in the same place of like not really being sure what was going on. We didn't really have any new information about the main mystery or the subplot mystery either. By the time we got to that last 20% of the book, I felt like it kind of like 1-2 skipped a feud into the next 6 months, like post discovering what happened, in a way that didn't feel satisfying. Like, it felt just like out of nowhere they knew nothing, and then all of a sudden they knew everything. And again, it just like skipped over how they confronted the person who did it, and all of that, and just went immediately into the assumption that he was in jail. Like, literally it doesn't even mention what actually happened. I don't know if he's in jail, or I assume he is, but we don't really know. The subplot mystery actually was more interesting at the end. Like, that last, I want to say like 2 chapters, very, very interesting, but I honestly felt like I was kind of putting myself in a slump with this one, so I did give it 2 stars. I think that, like, I don't know, if you're looking for something a little bit slower paced where you really get to know the characters, I think then that's a good book for you. But I was just expecting this to be a little bit more of a mystery, so that's why I gave it 2 stars. So that's my thought on that. And again, I just wanted to kind of like wrap up my thoughts on it because I have mentioned this book a couple of times in different videos. I also wanted to pick up, I think, I'm a little nervous of like what book to pick up next because I felt like that book was giving me slumpy vibes, but I was thinking about picking up Within Arm's Reach by Napolitano. She's the one who wrote Hello Beautiful. That obviously had amazing reviews. I got this from a little free library not long ago, and I thought that it would be nice to pick this one up finally. I also have a few books, including this one, that I want to give to a little free library, so sometime this weekend we'll probably do that. But I wanted to pick this one up. I think from what I understand, it's basically a book about generational trauma, essentially. So like following this family from generation to generation, and like I think there's like an unexpected pregnancy or something along those lines. So I'll certainly keep you guys updated. I think it's an Irish family, Irish Catholic family specifically. I don't know, it sounds interesting. I feel like it has decently good ratings, and I feel like lately I've really been into like the things like mystery thriller books, but those can be hit or miss, and I feel like a book that really allows me to connect with characters is what I've been liking lately. So I think I'm gonna give this one a shot. I'm gonna start it tonight, although it is very late. It's already 9:40 p.m. I just binge watched Mormon Wives. I watched almost the entirety of the season today, so I'm feeling a little tired, but I'm gonna get through and start this book at least, because I feel like starting a book is the hardest part. Once I get through the first, you know, chapter or so, then it starts to pick up, and like I can just quickly pick up a book instead of, I don't know, for some reason picking up a book is that much harder when I haven't started it yet, because it's easier to just like put off picking it up. Anyway, I'm gonna start this. I will certainly tell you guys how it goes. I think it's only like just over 300 pages, so hopefully it goes quickly. I would like to speed up my reading a little bit because I feel like I've been getting distracted a lot with just like social media, YouTube, things like that, and I just feel like I haven't really been prioritizing reading in 2026 in general, and I just don't love that feeling. So as one of my favorite hobbies, I want to really connect with a book again. So we're gonna start here. I'm hoping that this is good. If I feel like I'm getting into a slump, I think I will move on to something different, but we're gonna start here and we're gonna see how it goes. Let's get to reading, and I will update you guys on all of my thoughts probably tomorrow. Good morning, you guys. Today is Saturday and I am focused in today on reading Within Arm's Reach. I didn't get too far. I'm like 2 chapters into the book from last night, but I do really enjoy it so far. I feel like already this is a lot faster paced and just like immediately intriguing, and so it makes me excited to continue to read this book and want to pick it up. Sorry, the lighting is kind of weird. Let me pull down that shade. Okay, that's much better. I do really like it so far and I'm excited to be reading it. I'm gonna continue reading this morning. I also, like I was saying yesterday, I want to get together a couple of books that I want to give to a little free library, and maybe we'll do that today. There's one specifically that I really like to give to that's nearby. It's a bit of like a longer walk, but it gets me out of the house and like gets me doing a longer walk, if that makes sense. And then I can always see if there's anything that I like in that little free library too. So maybe we'll do that. And I would also like to sometime this weekend go over to the library. I want to see if they have any newer books, because I feel like I haven't really been keeping tabs on any newer releases lately, and I kind of want to see, just like with my own eyes, what I would be intrigued by or like what books seem interesting to me. So maybe we'll do that sometime this weekend. I don't know what day yet. Anyway, I'm gonna sit here and read for a little bit longer. I have my coffee here. Just want to get into it some more. I think once I'm into it a little bit more is when it'll be like, okay, I can't put this down. But we already have some interesting things happening, some interesting characters. I really like the characters so far. The chapters switch perspective too within this big family, so we're getting a lot of different perspectives, which is fun. It makes you understand what's going on a little bit more because some weird things are happening, and that's all I'll really say for now. Let's get into it some more. Okay, we've officially gotten ready for the day. Whenever I sit out here, I feel like I'm at my own personal little coffee shop. What is on my chair? I feel like I just hit something on my chair that it felt sticky on my hand. I didn't like that. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm not super far in still, but I wanna read as much as I can today. Ryan, I think, is gonna go take a little nap, and we, you know, like, oh, hi. Yeah, I closed the door for you. Oh, okay. Ryan's gonna go take a little nap because he's feeling sick. So we took P on his walk and all of that. And I think I just wanna enjoy the outside while it's still nice. It's only gonna be 80 degrees today, but it's supposed to be like in the 90s this weekend as well. Maybe, I think maybe tomorrow. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, point is, when it's still like kind of nice out, like right now it's 72, which is like perfect. I like to sit out here because later in the day, it just gets so hot that it's just not even really that enjoyable to sit outside. So sitting here hanging out with P. He's here too in his dirt as usual. Are you enjoying yourself? I told Ryan I was thinking about going to the library, so he may or may not join me depending on how he's feeling, because it might be a good way for him to get out of the house without doing anything too extravagant, but we'll see. So for now, let's just enjoy the backyard for a little bit. All right, it officially got hot outside, so we're moving in. Also, sometimes Pete just like barks at too many dogs, especially in the mornings. Like if there's a bunch of people walking their dogs in the morning, it's hard to have P outside because he will want to bark at every single dog that passes by. But anyway, we're back inside. I'm continuing to read, and I also just had breakfast. So I actually read while I was having my breakfast. I don't know, a few more chapters in, and honestly, I kind of like the perspectives that we're getting in this book. Basically, we're just like following, there's 3 generations, so grandmother, mother, and children. But I think we're gonna get a couple of like the aunts and uncles perspectives and things like that too. Mostly we're getting this like immediate family with Gracie and Lila being the children. So I don't know if we'll get like their cousin's perspective on anything, but Gracie I think is like kind of our main character in a sense. It's super fun though, because something will happen and watching it transcend between different people within the family, of like someone got into a car accident, and so then it's like the husband telling his wife that her mom got into a car accident and like that dynamic, and then the children eventually finding out that grandma got into a car accident and that dynamic. and grandchild 2 knowing before grandchild 1. It's just like there's so many different things that remind you so much of just like family in general, and I feel like this is a book that so many people can relate to in that way. It's also just interesting being in the mind of each of those different people. Like I like that there's varying perspectives so far because it allows you to see that same situation from different people's viewpoints. So like we know very early on that this includes an unexpected pregnancy, so finding out that Gracie is pregnant and then how Lila takes that news, how her grandma takes that news, how her mom is going to take that news, which we don't know any of those other perspectives yet, but we're about to get into Lila's perspective about the news about the pregnancy, and we already know Gracie's viewpoint because she's sort of our main character. So it's kind of fun because it's just like that idea that there's like so many different sides to a story, and especially within a family, like you only really know so much about your family because there's always going to be secrets or like things that you try to hide or things that you try to save face about. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is, I wouldn't say that this book is either fast-paced or slow-paced. Like it's just kind of there, I suppose. Like it's kind of just like neither here nor there. But I do have probably like 7 hours left of this book. If I could, I would love to finish this weekend, especially with how few plans we have, but we'll see. I think that's how I was reading so much last year or the last few years, is because I heavily listened to audiobooks. I haven't really listened to any audiobooks the last couple of months, which is interesting. I have been thinking about revisiting The Goldfinch, which I did talk about in a previous 26 and 26 video. I think I want to go back to listening to it because I feel like if I gave it some more time, then I would reconnect with the story. I think I just started to not really like where the story was going. But I think if it was something I listened to very passively over the course of like a month, then maybe I could get back into it, because I do want to hear how everything ends. I know how the story ends, but I don't know like how we get there. So I think that it could be something that I could passively listen to. I'm going to tell myself that I'll like read a few pages here and there, and then it just would never happen. So that's why I think I'm opting for audiobook. But anyway, that's my update. I am going to get back to some reading and just getting more into this book and all of the characters involved. I don't know whose side I'm on about literally anything right now because I'm still getting perspectives of like what the situation is, but it's been interesting so far and I've been really enjoying it. So let's get back into it. Okay, quick intermission from the reading. I think I'm gonna make myself a quick latte. I just had some lunch. I think Ryan and I are gonna play a video game. We've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, and for some reason we always play at night, but I don't know, it just kind of feels fun to play it right now. So I'm gonna make this and we'll play, and then he will probably have to start getting ready because he's going to an event tonight with some friends. I decided to not go because it is Gorillaz themed, like the band, but I had just never really listened to the Gorillaz when I was younger, and so I just don't have that same like want to go to this event. So they're all going, I'm gonna stay back and we'll do a bunch of reading together when we're home, when Ryan's gone. Luckily he's feeling better. We were really nervous that he wasn't gonna feel well enough to go, and he's been looking forward to this for like months. It's all working out, thankfully. Okay, just an update because it's been a second since I last talked to you. First of all, I don't know what kind of bird it was, and I wish I could have shown you guys, but there was a bird. It looked almost like a falcon or something, but I know it wasn't a falcon, and I don't know my birds well enough. But it landed in this tree and then it came around, and it's just been like hanging out in our backyard, and it just flew away, and it was just so neat because it was just such a beautiful bird. It was so big, it almost looked like an owl, but I know it wasn't an owl. Anyway, that's beside the point. I've been reading all day today. I shouldn't say all day. I've definitely gotten distracted. I played video games with Ryan. Like, I've not sat on the couch reading only, but I did have a really good reading day, and I'm already 100 pages into the book, and I really like it. I was actually like looking at reviews again, and a lot of people just were like basically saying that like nothing happens in this book, but I think that lately, for whatever reason, I've been enjoying these books that nothing happens because I don't know, I feel like you get to know your characters in a different way. Like you get this like slice of their life, but it's weird because in the past I never liked those types of books. So I don't know, maybe my tastes are changing. Maybe I'm just like in a specific mood, who knows? I am wanting to read a couple of romance books. I really want to read Just Friends by Pham because I've obviously watched her YouTube channel, and I'm curious to see because I feel like all of the reviews I've been seeing are all from her friends. So I want to form my own opinion on the book, and I feel like it's only going to be probably like 300 pages. And then I also realized that I never read Fearful. Is that what it's called? It's like the novella at the end of the Fearless or Powerless series. By the end of the series, I was just kind of like I didn't really love the way that the series ended, basically, but I really, really loved Powerless and Powerful. which is the novella between the first and the second book. So I feel like I just need to finish the series and finally read Fearless, because it is a novella, so it's only like 200 or so pages, like just over 200, and it was available on Libby immediately. So I downloaded that on my Kindle too. So now I'm like very excited for like all of these different books. Today was just a big reading day and I didn't like go to the library or anything, but I've also been kind of like trying to help Ryan because he's just been feeling really sick. So he officially went out with his friends and I'm glad that he's feeling better, but he was like out for a little bit, like just passed out on the couch. And it's actually sad. P was freaking out when he left. I feel like he was just confused about why Ryan left, which is weird because he's never freaked out like that, but he was like banging on the door over here and like crying, and I've just like never seen him act that way. But anyway, that is the update on that. I think what I'm gonna do right now, I've been like wanting to take a little bit of a break from reading for a second. It's 7 o'clock right now. I probably started taking my break like an hour or so ago when I had to walk pee, and then I just haven't gotten back to the book yet, but I want to read more. However, what I want to do first before I lose steam is I want to go do a workout. I've been in my workout clothes all day. I found this top. Did I already say this? I forgot that I had this top. So found this and I've been wearing it because I think it's just like a fun little take on a workout top. I'm gonna go get my yoga mat from the room because I've been doing a couple of workouts in here because Ryan's been working from home or like been home and taking naps on the couch. So I'm gonna do the workout and then I'm gonna shower, and then I think we'll probably just read for the rest of the night. But I just wanna get cozy and read, and I think that it'll be so nice once I've showered and I can like get in a cozy sweater and just get comfy. So I'll feel so much more satisfied once I've done it all. Let's get to the workout and I will check in with you guys once I've read some more. I feel so good now that I've done my workout, done my shower, the whole thing. It feels so nice to just sit on the couch, windows open so it's nice and cool out, and I feel very calm now. See, this is the part that I do like about working out at night, is that the warm shower at night is everything to me. Like, I like doing an everything shower at night. I'm not rushed. I could take my time like as long as I want, and it feels so nice. I love taking an everything shower. I know a lot of people don't like doing it, or like they feel like it's too much to do, but truly I love it. Anyway, P has calmed down since I last talked to you guys. He is just resting here. I'm about to take him out to go what we call final potty. Oh, I think he heard me. Usually we just like let him out for a potty break before bedtime, basically. It's only almost 9 o'clock, so I don't think I'm gonna go to bed yet. I think I'm just going to read for a while and then we'll head to bed from there. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys the update. Feeling good, and it's reading time. Let's get into some more of our book. Good morning, happy Sunday. We had plans to go to a park today, but I don't think that's gonna happen because Ryan came home so late last night and he just isn't feeling well. So we're gonna hang out. I think today we'll maybe try to go to like a library or something, and then I think it opens at 1. There's one library near me that is open on Sundays because most of them are not. And then I think maybe especially if I can finish this book, we will try to go to a little free library. If I don't finish this book, I'm gonna try to go through and see if there's more than just one book that I would want to give. So we'll see. But anyway, I wanted to update you guys. I'm almost 40% of the way through this book. I'm about here. And I think I like it so far still. It's interesting because kind of nothing has happened in this book, but for some reason it's been more intriguing to me than like the last book that I read, because I think I had higher expectations for that book, whereas this one I like knew was going to be more of like a character study almost. I don't know why that is, but I've been enjoying it. I told Ryan about the bird that I saw yesterday and he was speculating that it was probably a hawk, which makes so much more sense. I knew it wasn't a falcon. I just like could not think of what other birds are around here because I'm just like not a bird person, but his mom is, and so he probably is like heard so many different bird names, so he was like, oh, it was like this kind of hawk probably, and probably that. So anyway, I just made myself a coffee. I'm gonna go sit down and sip it. My stomach is hurting really bad today, so I think I'm just gonna try to take it easy, and what perfect way to take it easy than to read. So let's get our coffee and let's read a bit, and maybe it's only 8 right now, so in a bit I'll head over to the library. I also need to run to Target, and while I'm at Target, maybe we'll check out the book section too. That could be fun. Okay, I'm in the car because I'm gonna go over to TJ Maxx. I need to go pick something up, and I figured I would see if they have a book section. I'm realizing now that I know that there's a Goodwill too that has a really good book section, so maybe we can try there, but I for sure want to go to like the library or Target or something like that. It just doesn't open until 1. So I'm gonna start with TJ Maxx since I already have to go there, and then we'll see if they have any books. I can't remember a book section, but I'm trying to think if maybe they actually do. I guess we'll figure it out. I know a few do, but I don't know if this one does. So that's the update for now. Let's head off. Let's go to TJ Maxx and explore to see if they have a book section. And again, either way, we'll go somewhere else to look at books. Okay, sorry for the lighting. I'm in this like parking garage thing. I just had to move my car because the guy who was parked next to me has been in his car since I parked here. I went over to TJ Maxx. They have no book section. I also was looking for a watch because I'm trying to play with the idea of getting away from my Apple Watch, but I only want to spend like $10. So I was like, oh, TJ Maxx, but they had no watches. So that was the whole reason I went. On my way home, there's a small Target, and usually the small Target has no books. So I wasn't even like looking for books, but I was like, okay, since I'm on my way, I might as well stop and look for watches. They had no watches, but they did have books this time. And I actually ended up picking up Just Friends, which this lighting is not doing the cover any justice. Actually, let me see. Can I turn this on? There we go. That's much better. I decided to get it because I actually don't like sprayed edges personally, but it does have sprayed edges. I know that the first printing of this book has like the inside cover has a pretty like back and front, and then I know that there's like a annotated section, and this is like because it's the first printing. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's because she's a new author or it's like, you know, her first time or whatever, but the pages themselves feel so thin and like, I don't know, they don't feel like the best pages, but I think that sometimes with new authors, they obviously like don't give them the best of the best. I'm curious to see what I like about this book or don't like about this book, and I'm honestly so glad that these stickers are like, Target's really good about this. Their stickers are peelable, first of all, and they're really easy to get off because I hate when a sticker is just like on my book. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I think I was saying this earlier in the vlog, but I feel like I've only really heard things from her friends about this book, so I'm curious to see what my thoughts are, but I decided to pick it up because it was also 20% off at Target. So got this. This is originally what I was going to look for at the library and see if maybe they have it, because usually my library is really good about stocking up brand new books, so I thought maybe I could read it for free, but I decided to pick it up because I wanted it. So I am excited to read this. I feel like it's perfect weather, perfect mood for a bit of a summery read. So once I'm finished with Within Arm's Reach, I'll pick this one up, but I did get this. I'm gonna head home, and I was gonna pick Ryan up some food, but he says he's fine actually. So just gonna head home and then we'll read some more. And I actually have to clean the backyard because this morning I went outside. Speaking of that hawk or falcon or whatever it was, something happened last night. I don't know what. It wasn't there around like 9:30ish when I took P to go what we call final potty, which is basically just letting him outside for the last time in the night. And this morning I woke up, I like let P out into the backyard, and he was being like really quiet, despite the fact that there were so many dogs walking back and forth in our neighborhood, and normally he's not very quiet. So I went to go look. There was like blood and feathers everywhere. I don't know what happened. Ryan said that it was also in the front by our landlord's property, so I need to sanitize the backyard. We have like turf, like fake grass, and so I have like a turf cleaner, so I need to clean it. I need to get rid of all the feathers because I was so scared that P got into something. He turned around when I saw what was going on. He was like sniffing all the feathers, and he had feathers all over his muzzle. So I cleaned him off, and I looked it up online. It just says to monitor him to make sure he doesn't have any like symptoms, which he seems fine, thankfully. So I'm just crossing my fingers, but it was a bit of a shock, and I don't want him to end up getting sick from something, so I need to clean that before I can just like sit outside. And I'm feeling lazy right now, and I don't feel like cleaning it. So anyway, that is the update. Let's head home, and I will continue to update you guys on all of my reading adventures. Okay, I just made myself a latte. I've been drinking 2 lattes a day for a couple of days now, and it's probably not the best for me, but I just made myself a latte because I felt like I needed to pick me up. I want to continue to read this book, and now I'm pretty excited about reading Just Friends, so now I'm especially wanting to get through this. And I actually left my phone in the other part of the house so that I wouldn't even get distracted. I was still thinking about going to the library today, but honestly I'm just kind of, I don't know, for whatever reason I'm feeling like I don't want to do that right now, and I've just been feeling really cozy, so I think I'm gonna wait debate on going to the library. Maybe I'll go like sometime this week or something, but since I picked up Just Friends, I feel less of an inkling to go. And now I have like a solid amount of books that I'm excited to read in like an order, if that makes any sense. I also just moved this ottoman. So it's meant to go with this couch, but it has always been in our bedroom because this is clearly where he sleeps. And I figured I would just try to move it here just to like see if that changes anything. It's funny because the couch has been worn in for so many years that now it sinks way lower than the ottoman, but I think it could be kind of nice to like be able to kick your feet out and like be here, and then someone can still sit here with you comfortably, because what ends up happening is one person sits here and then it's just not as easy for a second person to sit because we kind of like lay out, and then someone ends up in that couch, which is also totally fine, but that couch is like not as cozy to just like lean back in because it's more of like a sit-up couch, if that makes any sense. It's almost like half of a love seat. Like it's bigger than a normal chair. I can sit comfortably in that like for a solid percentage of the day because of how big it is. But anyway, I wanted to try out the ottoman basically. I kind of want to get the vibes of like what an L couch would feel like, and I've never really loved this ottoman because since it's not actually attached to the couch, it does move, but I figured I would try it. It's also rotated the wrong way and I know that it is, but I want it to be longer on purpose because I wanted P to feel comfortable doing this exactly. So I'm gonna have my coffee, I'm gonna read a bit more and give you guys more of my thoughts. I wanted to update you on where I'm at. I actually don't know what percentage I am in the book, but I'm probably almost 50% of the way through, if not already. One thing I'll say about this is the girl who has the unexpected pregnancy in this book, she's like my age. And it's so funny to me because her family is reacting in such a way that I think is mostly just because they're like Irish Catholic, and everyone is acting like this is a teenage pregnancy, and it's so interesting to like see this family's dynamic and think about like the weird quirks that you have with your family, or like the ways that your family would react to certain things, or I don't know, just like would or wouldn't do in comparison to like how the main character is being treated. So it's been really fun to, I don't know, pick apart everything that's going on with this family essentially. It's still just like all vibes, and for whatever reason I'm okay with all vibes lately. Don't really know what has changed, like I said before, but no plot and just vibes has been working for me, and it's weird, but I feel like I'm digging deeper with each one of my characters when it is that type of book, and I think that that's what I've been looking for. So anyway, I want to continue to read. I'll give you guys my updates and hope that I finish this soon. What time is it? It's almost 2. Let's hope that I finish this today then. And I really want to start Just Friends. So I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna try to commit. Let's finish this today. I'll give you guys more thoughts, but it's hard because I don't want to spoil anything. So I've been trying to hold back as much as I can. Okay, I've been sat here for a second. First of all, I really like the ottoman on the couch. Ryan came in and he also saw it, and he also agreed that he liked it. So I think we'll probably keep it here. Although I guess we'll see because it makes the room look so bare. I will have to show you guys how the room looks. But I took a quick hiatus to watch some TV and now I'm back. I was feeling kind of sleepy even after my second latte, and I never took a nap. I thought I was gonna take a nap, which is why I paused reading, but I am still really liking this book. I looked on my Kindle. I am officially 50% of the, like just past 50% of the way through. Call me crazy. I don't usually do that. Well, I usually do it for certain circumstances, but I haven't done this in a while. I think I want to pick up Just Friends. I think I want to take a quick pause from this and pick up this. I think I'm just excited, and it's kind of like perfect weather for a fun little romance type novel. So I think I'm gonna do it. This is supposed to be a second chance romance. So basically at some point, the two main characters, Blair and Declan, were best friends and they ended up sharing a kiss together. But then for whatever reason, something happens and somehow it like shatters the friendship. And then Blair at some point I think moves away, and 4 years later she moves back to their hometown because she needs to support her mom and her great aunt, and she ends up working at this coffee shop, and the guy Declan, he's the manager at this coffee shop. So it's a second chance romance. I think this has been said plenty of times, but this is clearly Ryan and Haley. Like, it just looks like Ryan and Haley. But I think that that's fine. Like, you have to get inspiration from real life. And I have my fair share of times that I've tried writing, and honestly, especially because I've never written before. I think the best things that I've ever tried to write have been from experiences. So I don't think that, like, personally, this doesn't bother me. I think it's super cute, and I'm excited to see how her writing is. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like nervous. I feel like so many people have been rating it highly, but it's because they're like dedicated fans and her friends and all of that kind of thing. And I kind of want to actually rate this. Like, I want to give my full true thoughts. Also, the chapter pages are so cute. I watched a video that she posted about them, and she wanted really specific drawings. So that's like present chapter, I think. Here's a past chapter. Super cute. I really like the drawings. I like all the like the creative decisions she made on this book. Again, normally I don't love sprayed edges, but I do think that they're really cute. In terms of optics, I like this book. I like everything about it. It feels very feels very Emily Henry-esque, like the style and everything, which is probably some inspo that she had, and I'm excited. So I'm gonna start this, and again, I'm gonna return to this, but I think that I just am like so excited about this book and just wanting to get into it that it'll get me into reading something and like not feeling lazy. So let's start it. I'm gonna actually add on my Goodreads that I'm reading it right now. I haven't had the reading bug like this in a really long time, and it feels really nice because I feel like I've been really trying to read and like telling myself that I want to read. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really been into reading as much as I have in the past. I don't know. Is that true? Earlier this year in January, I did read a book in one singular setting, and that was really fun. But I just feel like I haven't found things like I did when I first started reading. Like when I first started, I had Emily Henry and her backlist and all those things, and I think I wasn't as picky with the types of books that I was reading, and so it's been hard for me to get back into some more reading because for whatever reason I feel like I'm looking for that same feeling. But it's so hard when you've read, oh, P's moving you. It's so hard when you've read tons of romance novels because you can only read those romance novels for the first time so many times, right? Like at a point, a lot of romance novels kind of go in the same way. So then I had to like get away from romance, but then mystery thriller felt that same way. So it's been harder and harder for me to find something that stands out and feels like a 5-star in comparison to when I was first getting back into reading and everything felt brand new again. So like naturally any of the first books that I was reading were gonna feel that way. I don't know. I'm hopeful that this is a good book for me, and I'm excited because I haven't been into romance for a while now, and I think this one is coming right at the right time because I'm feeling that spring vibe of wanting to read a romance. So I'm gonna start and let's see what I think of this book, at least the first piece of the book. I thought I was going to finish Within Arm's Reach today, but I think instead I'm just gonna go between these two. Also, last thing I wanna say, it's 4:50 p.m. P is about to get his food, and I am not gonna go to the library today. I thought I was going to, but again, after picking this book up, I feel like this is kind of what I was looking for anyway, and I feel like if I got another book, I would start to overwhelm myself. So we're gonna pause on going to the library. We'll go another time soon, but I think this did satisfy my craving of getting something new. So let's get to reading. Good morning, you guys. It's the next day. I actually have the day off of work today, and I just woke up. I am so glad that I have the day off because I've not slept since like 1 a.m. and I'm so tired. But I wanted to give you guys an update on Just Friends. I literally didn't get through much because the Oscars was on, and I think I was at that point in my day where I was getting very distracted. The only thing I'll really say about this book right now is her writing is very beautiful, but it's almost distracting for me, and this is not like just a her thing. This has happened in other books too. Like what's the one, it's called like June Farrow or something like that, The Unmaking of June Farrow. That one I remember distinctly having that same very like flowery writing where every single thing is a simile or a metaphor or something, like you're comparing something or you're trying to, I don't know, sometimes it's a lot for me, and the dialogue pieces are the easiest for me to understand, but it's really hard for me to like, I think I get hung up on every single word, and I'm really trying to visualize what they're explaining, and so then I have to like reread, and it confuses me for some reason. So it's that type of writing, which again is not bad. I think a lot of people really like this type of writing. The only other thing is I think that it very heavily reflects her life. If you don't know who Haley is, like the author, she's put a lot of information about herself on YouTube, but she is a Christian and wanted to get married young and the whole thing. And one of her characters in this book got married straight out of college, I think it was. Yeah, it was out of college. It wasn't high school. But still, we're talking like early 20s then. And I think that like she's talking about how her life is like she's single, she's having to go back home and all this stuff, whereas one of her friends is starting her career and another friend is married. And I feel like she has this aspiration of marriage in a way that I personally don't understand. And that's just because it's not the way I grew up. Like marriage was not the end all be all for me. So it's interesting because again, it just basically reflects who Haley is, clearly. There's nothing bad about that. I won't say that there is. I think that a lot of people feel this way. And so for that reason, I think that it's kind of nice to have a bit of a different perspective and a unique goal, because although years ago that wasn't unique, I feel like now it's like not the cool thing to say that you just like want to settle down and get married and like find your person and that kind of thing. There's a lot of like rhetoric online about being like an independent woman and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I feel like this is her book, this is her perspective, this is how she lives her life. And if that's how the character is, like it's really like, it doesn't affect the story in a big way. It just is clearly written from more of like a Christian Catholic perspective. But again, nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna continue reading this morning. I got 5 chapters in, so not too far. And I am liking it so far. I'm like very impressed. As a debut novel, I think that this is really good. And again, I'm not very far in, but it's captured my attention in the same way that any other book would. Like I feel like I'm reading not a book by a YouTuber, but just like a book that I found at Barnes & Noble or Target. So I think that's a good thing. I don't feel like she's gotten this like privilege. Well, I guess I can't really say that, right? Like because she has a following, did she get the privilege of being published instead of having to go through like a self-publishing stage and like people automatically believed in her because they knew that her book would sell? Potentially, but I can't say for certain, right? But I think that she deserves it. She's worked for years on this book. It's not like she like whipped it up and like had a ghostwriter like Kendall and Kylie Jenner did, if you guys remember that lore. And there have been other YouTubers who have tried to write books, like fiction novels, that I think just like didn't work out as well. Like I think Zoella was one. So I don't know, I think for me it feels like I'm just reading someone who aspires to be like an Emily Henry, which I think is exactly what she was going for. So I'm not mad about it. I think that like if you want to break out of YouTube or like whatever it is that you've been doing for so long, like her main career has been YouTube for God knows how long, then I think that that's fine. The other thing I wanted to say actually is, again, it closely relates to her life, but she talks about wanting to retire her mom. And I wish I could find the lines, but basically she talks about like her mom being an immigrant and again wanting to be able to make money so she can retire her mom, and like having this pressure from being from an immigrant family. And I think that the way that she writes about it is the most true that I've ever seen it written in a book, because I think that in other books it's never bothered me, but like for example, Carrie Soto is back, the character is Latina, but there's really no reason for her to be Latina, whereas in this book it's like you can tell that it comes from a place of having experienced this feeling in your life. And I really enjoy that because it feels really refreshing to me as a child of an immigrant. So I really like that she talks about the feelings of like what that first generation goes through, because we're from here and we have all of these privileges when we come from here and like didn't have to immigrate and like didn't have to learn something new and like go through that uphill battle. But with that comes a lot of those same feelings of like, okay, now it's my responsibility to make money and my responsibility to, like, my parents got me here, I need to do the rest, I need to retire them, I need to take care of them, and all of those feelings. And I think it was just so accurately portrayed in this book. That's only the first like 50 pages too, which is crazy. So I'm excited to see what comes next. I think hopefully this morning I'm a little bit more clear-headed and I can get into the book some more. Ryan actually moved the ottoman that I had moved, so I'm gonna go move it back because I think I like it. And then I think I'm gonna make some coffee and we'll get to a little bit of reading today. I'm glad that I took the day off. I feel really tired. Okay, I'm sitting outside for a bit because I did not realize it was going to be so hot today. The high today is 92 degrees. That's insane. And right now it's like 76 degrees. So I think I'm just going to sit out here and read for a bit. It's like perfect temperature right now, and I kind of want to take advantage of it before it gets way too hot. Let's read for a bit and have some coffee. I'm going to do a workout in a little bit and I will hopefully feel good. After that, I didn't do my workout yesterday, so I've been kind of going for like at least every other day, but I ideally want to be working out, even if it's just like a walk, more often. I'm building up to it. I've been saying this for a while, but I'm really trying, guys. It's a hard like life change to just decide that you're gonna work out every day, you know? So it takes me a while, and I go through ups and downs, and I'm sure everyone else does too, of like being so motivated and wanting to work out and eat healthy, and then other days when you're just tired or lazy or whatever and want to eat whatever you want to eat, and that's why it's a balance. Gonna read. Gonna sit out here for a bit. When I start to get that feeling of like, all right, I want to kind of change my activity, I think I will go work out. And I need to get off my phone because I have been on it too much today already, and it's only 9:30 a.m. Let's read and see what happens next. I feel like I'm getting into a groove with this book now, where like not too much of the book is too metaphorical or anything like that, which is good. So I feel like I'm reading a little bit faster than I was yesterday. It's been a sec since I last checked in with you guys, and actually Ryan ended up coming home. He has still been sick, so he was trying to go to work today, but he just ended up doing a half day at work and a half day work from home. So it's about 2 o'clock. My hair is also wet because I decided to do a workout and then obviously take a shower after. With me not going to bed at all basically last night, I felt like if I did not do my workout in the morning, I was just like not gonna get it done. So it worked out perfect because I paused my reading, I did my workout like I told you guys I wanted to, and then by the time I was done, Ryan came home, like literally right as I was finishing. So we had lunch together and I just showered. Now I am almost 100 pages into this book. I feel like I was saying before, and I think I agree with what I was saying before, it's getting easier and easier to read this book. I think for whatever reason, like the fluffiness of the writing was just like hard for my brain to just get into, but I think now that we're into the story, now I know what I'm expecting of this writing and like who everybody is, I feel like I'm very much enjoying it. I really like how the book is reading so far. Like it's really cute. I think this is one of my favorite types of romance novels where something happened X amount of years ago and we don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, the two people just don't talk anymore, and now they have like a second chance at their romance. And specifically, it kind of reminds me of People We Meet on Vacation, where it alternates between timelines and then eventually you get closer and closer to what actually happened between our characters. I do know that our main character Declan, he had something happen to him, some kind of accident. We don't know what accident, and at some point they just stopped talking post-accident, and it affected his football career and basically the trajectory of his entire life. I don't know if Blair was at fault or like any of that yet, so we're still getting into it obviously, and I'm sure we won't know until the very end, but I'm excited to learn more and find out. I have no idea how long this book will take me because I haven't even tried to open it on my Kindle, but I'm hoping that with it being roughly 300 pages, it won't be too much reading, but we'll see. Okay, you guys, it's been a sec and I did not finish either of the books that I'm reading, so now I'm in the middle of 2 books. I'm actually almost 50% of the way through this one, and I am 50% of the way through this one, or more than just past 50%, so halfway through them both. Weirdly, this one initially was intriguing me more than this one was, and I don't really know what it is about it. Like, I think it was just the writing style, honestly. This one was easier to pick up and like instantly understand what was happening, which is funny because so many of the ratings on Goodreads were saying that there were way too many characters to keep track of, but I had no issue with that. This one just had a lot fluffier of writing, and so at first it was taking me a second to get into it, but now I'm really enjoying it. So I'm actually happy to be reading both of these, and I feel like I'm in a really good spot with both of them and just enjoying the reading process again, which I feel like it's taken me a while to to get there. And it's so weird that I'm reading 2 physical books. I usually exclusively read on my Kindle, so it's extra fun. I've been really loving some of the quotes in Just Friends, and just overall it's been a really sweet, cute book, and I'm excited that I finally picked it up, and I'm excited that I got this version of it specifically where it has like the annotations and things like that. So anyway, it's been really exciting, but I am going to end the vlog here. I thought we would do more like bookish things, like go to a library or something like I had said so many different times in this vlog. But honestly, I think with Ryan being sick, it was kind of nice to be home and just like spend time together. So it turned more into a reading vlog. Unfortunately, because I didn't finish either of these books, I will have to wait to give you guys any updates, but feel free to follow me on Goodreads or Fable. I'm on both, and all of my accounts are always linked in the description, and I will put all of my thoughts there, but also I will update you in a future vlog or reading video. I don't know which yet, but I'll update you somewhere. I do have a couple of fun reading vlogs coming up that I am excited about. I do want to get back to more of my 26 and 26. This one is actually on my 26 and 26, but I have other thoughts too, because sometimes those videos take me a second to film, only because I like to have at least like 3 to 4 books that I read within one video, and I am a slower reader, and realistically, with me going into the office, which I feel like I say every vlog now, but it's the truth, that it just takes up so much more of my time, and so I do less of the reading that I would normally do. So we're gonna see, but I'm excited for some upcoming videos that I have going on, and I think you guys will like them too. So subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you guys so much for being here and watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.